as always, it's Westo Enrico, Westo Day. Talking about a friend yesterday, people airplays. I'm going to start the day with some acids. Yes, Capio, I love you. And I know you're beautiful, kittyhood. I'm aware of it. So, I got up like right at 9 o'clock. So the last stream was Let's Enjoy Coffee. This one is Let's Make New Coffee. It's a little different. Yes, Capio, you're very beautiful, and I know, and I love you. You're a wonderful kitty. Corey Beck, good morning. Good morning and welcome to Talking with Famous People, the internet's only YouTube channel. Right, you found it. Congratulations. As the title promises, we will be making new copies soon enough. But I'm having a cup of the reheated old coffee first. Good morning from Corey's grandpa, OJ Columbus. Hello to the Banana Man. Hello, Banana Man. I'm waiting for you to get here. We need some bananas. So, it stayed relatively warm last night. Well above freezing. It's like 49 right now. I don't do tricks for money. Okay? I told you I don't do tricks for money. Chicken nugget. I've answered that question many, many times. People have asked it. And nobody's ever had to give me any money for it. Well, I've never gotten scammed before at all, actually. Chicken nugget, you're really unoriginal is the thing. It's true. You're attempting something that's been attempted like millions of times before, but it's never worked on me because I'm not nearly as stupid as you are. It's like, I get it. You're projecting your own frame of reference. You're a stupid, stupid person. So obviously you do stupid shit all the time. But I'm not stupid. And the thing is, it's not because I'm old. It's because I'm not stupid, right? Well, fortunately, Chicken Nugget, you don't speak for the Jews, okay? It's like being on the side of the Palestinians and opposing the Israeli oppression is not anti-Jewish. Yeah, I do have glasses, chicken nugget. You know what you have? A timeout. Good morning, simple girl. I've started off on a bad foot here this morning. I've not even been hiding my health too. I should be a little bit more diligent about that, I guess. If you had the opportunity to meet anyone in history, who would it be? Uh, that's a difficult question. I mean, H.L. Mencken is who I announced before, who I answered that with before. I'm 52. Let me get a ride in, my friend. I don't know what that means. I'm not driving anywhere at the moment. Vera says heart, heart, heart. H. Kleit says a doctor. If I were going to meet anybody from history, it wouldn't be a doctor. If I needed any kind of medical treatment, I'd be well served to stay in the present, right? H. Kleit. Because medical technology is a lot better now than it used to be. So try to think a little bit before you, you throw out random shit there, you know? You're never going to succeed in, trolling somebody or provoking a response unless you do a little bit better thinking than that. And I encourage you in your efforts, don't get me wrong. I want you to succeed in trolling me. I want you to provoke response. Because every time it does, it's like somebody's exploiting a 0-day exploit, and I close it. So the last thing people were successfully able to troll me about was coming in and accusing me of being a fake Christian and stuff and getting me mad about that. But now that exploit's closed, right? You can't get me mad about it anymore. Mighty Mendit. Well, Scott Rundles, are you really Billy Mays? Reincarnated as Scott Rundles? You ever run out of weed? And if so, how do you feel with that? I haven't run out of weed in a long time. I have a lot of weed, so. You are absolutely correct about that. USACR7. There ain't nothing better than coffee and a smoke to start and taking a massive shit after to start the day. That is true. If I can get that massive shit this morning, I'll be in good shape. But I actually shit so much yesterday, including late in the day, that I'm not sure I have a big one in me this morning. Good morning, Florida, Lake Worth. And welcome to California, Mariposa County, where Yosemite is. Don't worry. I live in a good part of California, okay? My brother watches you all the times. Well, that's wonderful to hear, Corey Beck. Is your brother just regular Beck? Singer of that song, Loser? My husband used to say, prime the pump. Is that what it means to drink coffee and smoke a cigarette to get yourself ready to poop? I don't think NTPs have a lot of BDE. I don't feel like I do, for example, but maybe I do. I don't know. When I think of BDE, I actually think of girls usually. Yeah, I've been to England. Like Amelia Banks. She's got a lot of BDE. And like that lady who sang that song WAP. That's about as BDE as you can get. I tend to think of BDE as being more like having a certain amount of sexual energy to it or something. I don't believe I convey much sexual energy, except that my wife, the only person for whom it's appropriate to me to convey sexual energy. Have you heard about power moves? Is it offensive to say someone looks Jewy? Probably. Are you saying that about me? I've heard that before. And my last name, is sometimes a Jewish last name. My family's not Jewish, but there are some Strausses who are Jewish. We'd sometimes get like mailers directed at Jewish people because of our last name. But as far as I know, my family's never been Jewish. Oh, it's about the lack of care for the judgment of others. So in other words, not giving a fuck is BDE. Okay, well, I do have plenty of not give a fuck. I got plenty of that. Plus in England, I got robbed in England. Big black man. So that wasn't great. But in London, I got robbed. I was young. I was like 19 or something. I went out walking around and got myself robbed. But other than that, I thought it was a nice place. What doesn't work well socially, despite what you may hear online? Not caring about the judgment of others? Well, when I say I don't care about the judgment of others, what I mean is, I'm not easily fazed by people trying to rent space in my head or whatever, Depending on who says what, I can be very, very caring about the opinion of others. I am first slot FE. But what Muhammad's getting at is that I'm very comfortable in my own skin. I'm confident about what I'm confident about, and I'm empowered to spend my time doing what I feel very comfortable doing. So in that sense, I guess that's what you're talking about, really, because it's not the case that I don't. It's not the case that I don't care what people think. It is the case that I have plenty of don't give a fuck energy. Like, obviously, for example, I could get my teeth fixed, If I spend a little money on it, I could get them fixed. But I just don't really care that much. Until and unless it affects how I speak, then I'll just leave it be. And it does affect how I speak now. I feel terrible if I'm perceived wrong and my intent is misunderstood. I like to apologize, therefore. Well, I remember one time, here I am, I was making a video addressing this horrible guy, Queen's Gambit, and the fact that he was talking shit about me and EJR&D, who's like schizophrenic or something, and putting us next to each other, trying to make a comparison, like I'm crazy too or something. Which I'm not blaming EJR&D for being crazy at all or anything like that. And I wasn't shitting on him at all. And then there was this person who came in named Teacup Noir, and they thought I was shitting on EJR&D, not on Queen's Gambit. And they're like, he's schizophrenic. How could you do that or whatever? And I'm like, wait, but... And then they were gone, and it's like, I never got to correct her misconception, and that has bothered me ever since. So I am very concerned about what people think if they get it wrong, right? Like, Like in that instance, I was not doing what she thought I was doing. I understand why she thought I was doing it based on the title and everything, but I was not absolutely doing it at all. So, because she would have been right to critique me if I had been doing that, right? Thank you, big black man, saying that my lives just flow. I'm a chatter, you know. I can chit chat for a long period of time. Sample Girl 357 says I'm very compassionate. Yeah, I don't allow mean people to affect me. It's true, and that's easy for me because I've spent a decade on YouTube with people trying to be mean to me, and I used to throw down in so many battles all the time. Right? That's how I got a warning for bullying C.S. Joseph because he attacked Taylor and I attacked back defending my friend, and I got a warning for years on the channel because of it. Even though all the shit I was saying about C.S. Joseph was totally correct. But regardless, I don't waste my time throwing down like I used to. There's little point to it, right? Best case outcome, you make the other person so incredibly mad that they try to harm you in real life. Best case outcome. Worst case outcome, you lose the throwdown. I mean, that's not going to happen to me very often, but you know, it still could happen occasionally. So I got a good night's sleep last night. I'm feeling pretty chipper. I'm still not feeling all slept up, but I don't know. I really slept well. I slept good and hard. The cat, Trouble, and I, we had a kind of a tender night together too. You know, he likes to sleep right up on me or right up against me or whatever. Sometimes it bugs me. Last night I found it rather cozy. So, you know, I I mostly am really kind of interested in the phenomenon of people attempting to provoke emotional reactions all the time. And I'm not sure what makes them do that, you know. Of course, Muhammad, you are always willing to, always allowed to excerpt any of my shit and use it however you want. I never copyright anybody for anything, so don't worry about it. Money or June says, I have a cat that does the same thing. I feel like it's just because I started really paying attention to cats and trying to understand their subtle language. Well, you know, this cat Trouble, he's a former stray, and we uprooted him from his home to bring him up here with us because he had started to hoach in on us and was like sleeping with us and stuff. And so once we moved him up here, he was really disrupted for a bit. It's like he'd go out of the house all day long every day, trying to, I guess, find a way back to Arcadia. And finally, he gave up on that. And now he's like a full blast house cat. He spends all the time inside. And like, it's like he reverted to a baby. He has to have me watch him eat. It's ridiculous. But, you know, we love him a lot, despite the fact that he's a pain in the butt. The one thing I really do not like about him, and I wish I'm trying to stop this, is every time I see it, is he likes to bully his sister. Yeah, I gamble occasionally. Not very often. Probably the last time I gambled was January or probably January, maybe early February. And I believe I won the last time I gambled. Anyway, I often do win. Since I moved up here, in my gambling, I'm up at least a couple $1,000s. I occasionally, sometimes I lose, but usually, more often than not, I win, which is kind of weird and crazy. I don't think of gambling as something you do to win, but I'm good at walking away. So let's say I start with $400. If I get up to $800, a little bit over that, maybe, I'm gone. I'm just like, all right, cool, I won. See you later, casino. I will have a good time, Muhammad. You have a good time too. I love to sleep. It's death without the commitment. Yeah. Well, I love to sleep because I like to pretend. Every time I go to sleep, as I'm lying down, I pretend. I pretend I'm in a magical world with different powers and stuff. And it just puts me right to sleep. I'm doing the same things as I was a little kid. You're down about 2,000 pounds. You have a bit of an addiction. Well, I don't think gambling is a vice many people can engage in well. It happens to be a vice I can engage in well. You know, I have trouble with drugs and alcohol, not with gambling for some reason. But I get it. People have different vices that they have trouble with. The other thing is, I used to play poker, but I'm actually much better at playing table games at the casino than I am at playing poker. I never won when I played poker. I'm a pretty bad poker player. It's very easy to read me. Playing blackjack or whatever, blackjack, three card poker. Those are mostly the two games I play. Different kinds of blackjack. They've got this one called Spanish blackjack that I like. They take all the tens out of the deck. They leave the jacks, but they take the tens out. I don't know. I like it. Gambling's very unfulfilling. I agree if you do it very often. Rachel and I have a plan. She wanted to know what I wanted to do for my birthday, which is coming up April 27th. I said, I probably want to go to the casino, I think. So, Rachel and I plan to go to the casino on my birthday. And Rachel doesn't really like to gamble. She just, it's ridiculous. It's strange how people are weird about different things about money. Rachel wastes a lot of money on clothes and makeup that like, how many more clothes could you possibly need? You have so many clothes already. But when it comes to gambling, it's like it pains her immensely to lose even $20. Meanwhile, in contrast, I can't stand to buy objects. I hate objects. But I'm down to spend money on experiences. Like gambling, for example. And the thing is, gambling, strangely, usually doesn't cost me anything. But the reason it's that way is because I go so infrequently. And I usually only go when everything's aligned properly. I've had enough sleep for a while, and I'm on a new bottle of Adderall, and I'm bright and shiny, and and feeling like, all right, let's go. Let's go try our luck. The other thing is, the amount of money I gamble has gone up a little bit, but not proportionally to my financial situation. So, you know, I can afford to lose it if I lose it, which wasn't always the case. You know, I've always treated gambling as a bit of a firefighter, quote unquote. Dreamsy Smoke says, first time at a casino, I was up 300 playing blackjack. Second day, I lost it all, plus 100, and walked away. Well, yeah, that's good. If you're just down $100, then, you know, that's a good time to walk away. Really, the hardest thing in gambling is to arrive and go up a lot right away. Because you've just driven like an hour to get there. Maybe a little bit more than an hour. And you should get up and walk away with your winnings and leave. But it's like, but I just got here. That's the hardest moment in gambling. In the ideal situation, you know, it takes you an hour of gambling. You know, you go down a little, up a little, down a little, up a little. Then you go up enough to leave. Good morning, good times. How are you this morning? I'll tell you what I do like about England. Returning to the subject of England. Let's try to see what Trinity Smoke says here. It was a shock to the system the first time. Loud music, lights, like a crazy acid trip. They don't build them casinos on winners. No, they certainly don't. Most people don't gamble as healthily as I do, I think. Most people either don't gamble or gamble unhealthily. And if you spend much time in a casino, you'll end up seeing depressing stuff. So that's one of the downsides of a casino. But one thing I like about gambling, I guess, is that it's a vice I don't have any problem with. Oh, which reminds me, we were at the boot jack store the other day, and everybody was buying Powerball tickets in front of us. Like, it was over $1 billion, I guess. So I'm like, well, I got $8 of cash in my wallet. I'll get 4 Powerball tickets. So I did, but I haven't checked them yet. I don't know. I have to look up the numbers or whatever. Or go back to the store and put it under the reader thing, you know. That's what I usually do. If you only go with money you know you can lose. Money you need is cursed money. True that. True that. Pulling up my pants. Because I've got on these inherited shorts that are way too big for me. Well, so it goes. It's not very cold today. I brought the seedlings in last night to keep them out of the cold, but it didn't even really get very cold last night. You want me to watch you eat again? Okay, you big baby. You're a very big baby. And I will watch you eat. Okay, you big baby. And then what we're going to need to do is what the title of this live stream says. We're going to need to make fresh copy. I mean, this old copy is pretty good, but there's not that much of it left. You're a good kitty. Yes, you are. You're my big baby. Yes, you're such a big baby. Hi, Capillo. My normal, sweet adult cat. You're not a big baby. No, you're a good kitty. Do you need more food or something? What do you want? You want to go outside? Okay. Go ahead. Well, make up your mind because it's cold. In or out? At least Trouble doesn't do that. He doesn't play. I want you to open the door, but I'm not sure if I want to go out or not. If Trouble wants to go outside and you open the door, he'll go right outside. Heavy cream was on sale at the store, so I got a pint, I guess. Pint or a quart, maybe? A quart of heavy cream. Just relax, Trouble. It's just Capillo. She's just drinking some water, for fuck's sake. You don't need to be a constant dick about everything. Alright, here he goes. Here he goes to be a dick. Capillo's like, I don't want you to be a dick to me. I don't blame you, Capillo. Would you like some sink water? You love sink water. Here you go, sweetie. There, have some sink water. So let me fill up your drinking thing too. You want to put your paw in the water and drink it up with your paw. All right, she's just being walk around Sue. You know, she's not wanting anything in particular. Good morning, Winston's mom. This is how you get hairy hands? By petting the cat? Yeah, I do get hairy hands petting the cat. The cat sheds so much, it's crazy. Simple Girl needs to go shopping, as does Winston's mom. Rachel and I just went shopping, so we're feeling pretty stocked. We went shopping 2 days ago, and then we actually went shopping again yesterday. We had to go to town, so we got some extra stuff. Axolotl girl. Axolotl. Are you like Mayan or something? That sounds like a Mayan name. Thanks, Judy Roberts. We both love our kitties too. Nobody in particular, James, is famous. I guess one way to answer the question. The long story is, when I started the channel, I was anticipating it being a channel where I interviewed people, regular people, not celebrities. And the conceit of it was that by interviewing them, they would become famous people, you know, in some sense, even though it wasn't a big YouTube channel or anything. Anyway, that was the idea, but it didn't turn out to be like that. It just turned out to be me yammering on about various things. So you're the famous person, James. You are. I remember somebody came in yesterday and they tried to play You're Being a Sophist, whatever you pronounce that. What am I doing up? I got up about 5 a.m. Your friend streams and interviews random people on the street. Yeah, well, I wasn't intending to do that. I was intending to do like sit down interviews with people that I booked interviews with, but just random people, right? But I found it difficult to find random people who wanted to be interviewed. Frankly, I didn't have a large group of people to access. So, Jamal Alalui says, L dot, I dot. I'm not sure. It's either lowercase L dot or capital I dot. Simple Girl says I have the best channel. Thanks, Simple Girl. I appreciate that. I like to believe, even though it's not true, that I have the only YouTube channel on the internet. Anyway, somebody tried to come in and bust my chops about the name of the channel yesterday. So I'm just playing games with semantics by saying that you're the famous person by talking to me. So then I gave him the long explanation. I said, actually, no, I'm not just being a sophist. I intended that initially in the first place. Dot the I's and cross the T's. Well, he did cross the T. Mid-Atlantic Expanse. Winston's mom says, I have a young friend, Z. Pierre, who live streams from Nashville. His channel has grown by leaps and by bounds, and now he's known in Nashville and often streams during Kid Rock's audition classes. He's doing cool stuff down there, but I have no desire to roam the streets of Nash Vegas, so I stopped tuning in. Tiger fans, hello, good morning, and how are you? Nick Hirsch says, hello, I love your streams. Well, thanks. I appreciate it. I just shouted you out. Mr. Hirsch. Of course, I'm always hesitant to address anyone first named Nick or Mike. they're full of risk, typically. No, Carlo Santo, you may not. Yeah, I know, Nick. I've encountered variations of you many, many times before. So, yeah, well, yeah, I know that. Not the way I pronounced it, though, right, Mr. Hirsch? So, that's why I pronounced it that way. Obviously, I've encountered variations on your name a million times before. And not even the first time did it work on me. Kid seems cool, but he's so far right that it removes most of his cool, in my opinion. He's radically right, which reads odd. Well, other people aren't as smart as I am. Do you think about end of life and fulfillment in life? I'm 36 and think about it. Yeah, I do think about it fairly often, you know. Oh my God, Mid-Atlantic Expanse, spring is here? I think you know what that means. Spring break! Woo! Um, yeah, I think about end of life and fulfillment in life a lot. Uh, I'm 52. If I'm lucky, I got 30 years left. Probably, hopefully, you know. And I've accomplished plenty of things in life. You know, I was very successful in my career as a debate coach. Uh, I've had a daughter, raised her to adulthood. Looking rough for 52. Well, I'm a little underslept still. But yeah, I've lived fairly hard. It's not like I've treated my body like a tempo or something, you know. Women dress less in the spring, and by summer they smell like coconuts lying in the sun. Hmm. So, I mean, I haven't really. I've begun a response to the question, what, but I've barely broached the subject yet. I actually want to get into it in more depth. Uh, for me, I guess what I've what I've always wanted, but didn't haven't always known I've wanted, really, is to be as famous as I could be. Right? I want to have a billion subscribers, and I want them all to watch me every time I talk. So I don't know. You might say, "Well, Eric, is that a good thing to want?" High no justice, no peace. How's it going? Well, the thing is, I've always thought, but I've not always been correct to think this, but I've always thought people should listen to me. They should listen to what I'm saying. They should hear what I'm saying and have their opinions changed because of what I'm saying. Oh yeah, I'm gonna continue on with this subject for God knows how long. You know. Uh Fame is subjective, fame tickles that ego. Well, fame is understood differently by different people, right? And it's going to be experienced differently by them, and it's going to play out differently according to who it is. The thing is, what I am is super open and transparent. So, what do I want to be famous for? For being exactly who I am, and not really anything else, you know? And I think the problem with fame is that it makes people different, right? It makes them behave differently. They have to face different sort of situations. But it wouldn't change me at all. I mean, YouTube has done nothing but change me for the better over the years. There was one time this person who made a video that I saw. It said, EHPs actualize externally. And when she said that, I was like, wow, that's so insightful. That's what I feel like I'm doing. That's why I say I want fame. What I really mean is I want even more of the same mechanism that's been so optimizing thus far in my life. Infamous is different than famous. I've been infamous as well. It's not from good behaviors don't expect good results. Yeah, well, I don't want to be infamous. You could fool me if you came and said, you're me from the future, same hairline and missing teeth. Yeah, I don't want to be infamous. I do want to be famous for just this, just for doing this. You know, that would be great. That's exactly what I've been doing for many years. And if it could actually get me to be famous, then that'd be wonderful. I guess if you're famous enough at doing this, you're essentially like a talk show host or something. You know, like a morning drive time show. The thing is, I live stream so much that, I mean, you know, many hours a day, multiple times a day. Why do I want to be famous? What's your end goal with fame? Well, I mean, for one thing, I want everybody to hear what I'm saying and understand it and be persuaded by it. So if I'm talking about political stuff, I am a correctist. I'm neither right, left, nor libertarian, any of those things. I am a principled pragmatist, you know. I believe in our citizen democracy. I believe that we can discuss politics like adults instead of like a bunch of fucking idiots, you know. So one reason I want to be famous is because I want to be the Rush Limbaugh slash MSNBC, you know, Keith Olbermann, but for correctness and being an adult instead of being an outrage monger, right? I think a format of subjects going down the rabbit hole exploration leads to truth. Well, I think, well, no, I'm not that yet at all. I mean, I've got, like, you know, Jordan Peterson has the size of pulpit I'd like to have, but he's inadequate to the size of pulpit that he has, right? He's not smart enough. He's not correct enough. Doesn't matter how smart you are. He's not correct enough. He's on one of those teams. He's boogeymanning just like everybody else. His boogeyman is called the postmodernists. I'm not boogeymanning. This is how adults talk about stuff. I'm not being mad about this team or that team. Oh, plenty of things incorrect about. Plenty of things. But most importantly and most significantly, he's reifying. He's creating a boogeyman with a monolithic agency and a monolithic perspective on the good guys and the bad guys. And he's creating a mythological narrative instead of an actual political discussion. Actual politics is boring, right? Actual politics is like, we shouldn't do this program because it involves means testing and or let's say it's in-kind benefits. Here are 5 significant concerns regarding in-kind benefits. We should approach the problem from a different angle because even if we want to achieve solvency, we can't achieve solvency through that mechanism. That's actual politics, right? Note that it has nothing to do with the postmodernists, the identitarians, or any other boogeyman group you want to create. If you think I'm working up my feelings, you are not evaluating things correctly. I am a professional debate coach who has the correct position on every specific political argument that needs to be made, right? And I do not engage with this boogeymaning of groups. I'm not part of any group. None of your labels fit me. Because remember, I spent decades doing a job of coaching people in policy debate, public policy debate, competition flow policy debate. And I was a very successful coach, won a lot. My kids won a lot, you know. So when I tell you that I engage in politics without using my feelings at all, but through an entirely objective metric, that I am a consummate professional at evaluating cases on their merits for legitimacy, you can take that to the bank. If you want to receive the correct understanding of any given political position, I can articulate it to you, no problem. And it's because I spent decades parsing all of the arguments on both sides of every issue. I'm both naturally talented at this. I debated in high school, and more significantly, I spent decades working professionally at doing this job. My degree is in English. It doesn't matter. What I just said is what you should care about as far as my experience, right? And it wouldn't matter at all even if I had gone to college, because what I've been engaging in is what you might call the engineering of the physics of language, namely discursive engagement or dialectic in its optimal expression. So, my degree doesn't matter at all. It wouldn't matter if I even finished elementary school. I've already watched you eat. Okay, well, there's only one correct way to argue the Palestine-Israel question, right? It is this, that Israel has in the order of questions, any claim that Israel might have to a high moral ground or moral legitimacy is predicated on them first affording the Palestinians agency and independent authority without any terms or stipulations. Because they cannot maintain an apartheid state, which they're doing, where they have this population of second-class citizens and behave as though when that population acts violently, as though they're being attacked by an independent nation. The best way to argue it so that the Israelis agree is to point out that if you do afford them agency and autonomy as an independent state, without any terms or stipulations, then when they attack you, you can treat them as though you've been attacked by an independent state. Until that occurs, you cannot do that. So that's the correct position on that. Hi, James Day. Yeah, I self-identify as Christian. I used to be not religious, but I began praying when I quit drinking a little over 10 years ago. So, anyway, well, I don't really have asthma per se. I just hit this inhaler occasionally if I get a little wheezy. If you pull enough bowls and smoke enough cigarettes in the morning, you tend to get a little wheezy sometimes. I wouldn't say my path of recovery involved religion at all. I pray. I understand prayer is a faith based behavior or a behavior, the behavior of practicing faith. I don't see there being, for example, any point in arguing about God's existence or not. I could argue either side of that, no problem. But the point is, the correct position on it is, it's not the sort of thing you can argue, right? It's not the sort of thing that's properly argued because definitionally what you're doing is engaging in faith, which is belief in the absence of evidence or in the face of contrary evidence. It is not um, belief justified by empirics or reasoning. So, you know, the mistake that people who are religious typically make is they misunderstand their faith behavior as something that can be justified. That can be justified by reasoning or empirics when that's contradictory to the definition of faith, right? So in that instance, they create essentially contradictory premises, which makes the renders whatever else they're doing from that invalid. And a pointless endeavor anyway. And atheists are the same, right? They're arguing against the idea that there's empirics or reasoning that justifies faith. Well, I mean, definitionally, that's not how it works. Usually, when you say you're God, 72-hour evaluations tend to happen. I'm not saying I'm God. When did I say that? I never said that. I said I engage in prayer, which is a faith based behavior or a behavior exercising faith. Okay, moving on from worship arguments, something in all religious and spiritual texts, the existence of giants. Thoughts? Uh, there may have been giants on Earth at one point. One would have to, I'd have to look more at the physics of it, right? There are hard physical limits to size on land that that link to just the physics of gravity and stuff. You know, if you think about giraffes, for example, as it stands, they have to like kneel down to drink and then lift their. It's not easy for them to drink liquids, right? Um, and when you look at the physics of big animals, you get increased weight, you end up being like either uh, like an elephant, really bulky. I don't know. I'd have to look into it more. I haven't thought about it enough. We have ancestors that mate with our ancestors supposedly called denizens. Okay, well, I don't know. Maybe. Again, I have to think about it more, look into it more. Seems unlikely, but it's possible. I'm just smoking flower. I just use a torch because lots of reasons. It's easier, basically. Are an extinct species or subspecies of archaic human that ranged across Asia during the lower and middle Paleolithic, lived based on current evidence from 285 to 52,000 years ago. Well, okay, were they gigantic? Yeah, well, I know that's how people usually use the torch, but the reason I use a torch, and I do have some concentrate. I have like, well, I have a little bit of it left. I have a little bit of crumble, and sometimes I'll put that on top of the bowl. But I used to use a torch all the time because number one, this bong is super cloggy, and using a torch helps it to clog a little less. Number two, the only lighter I never put in my pocket and walk away with is the torch, you know. So it's always there. It's easy to grab. I don't have to look around for a lighter and etc. That's why I use a torch. I've been using a torch for a long ass time. People often think I'm doing some kind of like, you know, crack or meth or something because I'm using a torch. If I were doing those things, I wouldn't be using a torch like that. Okay, that's not how you torch those drugs. I've done plenty of meth before a long time ago, but that's not how you use a torch on that stuff. You got to be a lot more careful when you smoke that. That requires uh, a deft touch. All right, smoking bowls you can smoke like that. I don't know about crack. I've not done enough crack to know. Supposedly to start with 150 foot and then later 50 foot. Well, 150-foot tall man. Comedy Flu, I mailed you your soulmate finally yesterday. I finally got it out of the mail. So it's on its way to you. Um, I'm not sure how the physics of that would work. I, if you think about very large humans in status quo, after a certain height, they don't live very long. Typically, they've got significant health problems. People who have gigantism. Haven't I already watched you eat? Why must I watch you eat so much? Why? Why oh why? You're welcome very much, Comedy Flu. I had to try to figure out what the four letters was there. Oh, you silly kitty. You don't need me to watch you eat. This cat, I tell you. We still haven't done what the title says yet. We need to do that pretty soon. Alright, let me put my glasses on. Where are my glasses? Why do I take them out of my pocket? Why don't I just leave them in my pocket, you know? Okay, I'm done watching you eat. God. I don't like watching you eat all the time. Mid-Atlantic Expanse. This crack's alright. Good weekend getaway. Fantastic. Um, you know what? It's probably warm enough. We can have a health tube outside. Well, I don't know. I mean, if there were giants in the olden days, that would be interesting, I suppose. Uh, I wouldn't know really what to make of it. I'm 6'5", but I'm no giant. let's put the camera on the hill. Or we go over there. We go over there and go listen to the stream. It's not that cold. It's pretty cold for shorts, but it's not that cold. Looks like all the snow is finally melted away. Now there's a little bit of snow down there, so I see still in a couple of spots. I could probably get some views just streaming the sounds of outside, the sounds of nature, like morning in Yosemite, namaste. And the birds are all chattering at each other. I wonder if they're chattering about me. We're just having a little quiet time right now. Yes, sometimes even I stop talking. This is good breathing air, you know? It's good for breathing. I'd like to have this exact air pumped to my nostrils all the time. Then I'd be a really satisfied breather. It's one of my goals in life, is to be a satisfied breather. Giant humans who live forever lived a long time ago. Book of Enoch, huh? Well, check it out. The Watchers, the angels who betrayed God, Book of Enoch, Angels and Demons Explained, The Legends of History, 907,000 subscribers, 16 minutes. Well, that seems interesting. I'm looking at the chat, Putty Cat. I will not shut up, Harry. Jeez. Have I traveled much? Not that much. I mean, I've traveled plenty, but not that much. Like, I lived in China for a little while. I've been to Taiwan, been to Russia, been to Austria and Italy and England, Canada, Mexico, Hawaii. It's in America, but I've been all over America too. So I guess I've traveled plenty. But the point is, I don't like traveling. No, I've not taken a dump yet this morning. I see. Okay, well, I'll keep that in mind. Casra, yep. Hello. Kerr. Here. Have I been to Saginaw Mountain? Saginaw, Michigan. I don't think so. I've been to Detroit. That is a hell of a thing to ask somebody. Have I been to Saginaw, Michigan? What kind of a question is that, Pretty Cat? That's a hell of a thing to ask somebody. The thing is, I pooped last night before bed, so I may be a little bit late on my pooping this morning. Welcome back, Carlos Santo, and bienvenidos. If you speak Spanish, if that's Portuguese, I don't know. I don't know how to say welcome in Portuguese. Yeah, I think so too, Pretty Cat. I was joking. I've never been to hell on earth. Is that Saginaw, Michigan? Well, Putty Cat, I don't feel too bad about it because I feel like I really cleared out a lot of stuff yesterday. I feel pretty fresh and rosy, you know, like my whole plumbing's working really well right now at the moment. So I'm feeling pretty good about that. Of course, this is also a sleepy week thing and a not on Adderall thing. When I'm on Adderall, I don't pee nearly as well, for example. Uh I wouldn't call it a full colon blow because it was in many acts, okay? It was a multi poop day. Adderall's no bueno. I like it myself, but it has its downsides. One of them is that I tend to just all my plumbing doesn't work as well. I get constipated. I don't pee very well when I get constipated. You know. So, well, I know I used to be a meth head, so that was a long time ago. But um, instead of doing that, I get prescription Adderall now, and I don't take that much. I only take 30 milligrams a day. May I ask a question about hygiene? I see ladies have long nails more and more. Is it comfortable for them? Don't they have a risk of injuring themselves in the back in the bathroom? No, I don't. Comedy flu. I do not. Yeah, just a pharma type for me. You can actually get pharmaceutical meth. Gulf Coast, Florida man of the Gulf Coast. I don't have that. I don't know. Well, the whole front yard of the other house is dug up and everything. They were working on it all day yesterday, so I was pleased to see that. Very pleased. Uh, Gulf Coast, Florida man of the Gulf Coast. I think it's important for us each to not interfere with other people's consumption stuff. You know, let people do what they're gonna do. You worry about yourself. Everybody has temporal bargaining arrangements, so it's ill advised to interfere with those. Um, like somebody might tell me to quit smoking. Well, I've been getting increasingly healthy over the course of many years. It's not a good idea to try to be somebody you're not. When the time comes for me to quit things, I'll quit things, you know? Howie X says, morning, you're not working, or you're well off. It's nice to have money. Yeah, it's all of those things. It's morning, I'm not working, and the rest of it. How do you decide if and when to take a chance? Have you ever regretted your choices? Uh, some of them. You know, do I have chores to do today? Yeah, I got stuff to do. Buddy cat, you're a pretty effective nagger, I guess. You got me motivated to do some shit yesterday. In the title, I have to make new coffee. No, I like Putty Cat. Don't worry about this. Me and Putty, me and Putty Cat go way back, like 2 weeks. Baldy over there. What's it like to have no hair? I like that one. You gotta check out the Bible though, because if you insult me for being bald, I have the power to call down bears to maul you. First, I'll get the rest of the old coffee. I mean, there's more, but it's ready for a change. All right. However, it's also kind of hot. So let me let it cool down a little bit before I try to carry it around, deal with it like that. And put some more creamer in. So the key to a good cup of coffee is, first of all, the first step is lots of non-dairy creamer. Lots of it. They might say on the thing, like, put 1 spoonful. Don't listen to them at all. They're lying. They're lying on the non-dairy creamer package when they tell you how much non-dairy creamer to put in. The correct amount of non-dairy creamer is a shitload. Just pour it in like that. Next, get some natural heavy cream. And you're going to put that in your coffee as well. Like this. This is a little frozen. It's new coffee, so I'm not worried about it being curdled or anything. I mean, it's new creamer. Wait a second. I should have checked the date on this. April 10th. What? I just bought this. That's terrible. That's why it was on sale, I guess. So it's just frozen. Or thick or something. What even is that? All right, get out of there. I don't know, it's not curdled. It's fine. Those supermarket people, they got me. They got me. I saw the good deal on whipping cream. I just like, ooh, it's on sale. I just grabbed one. I should have looked. I have been working 20 years in America, failed to set up a family, shall go back. If I do, I never come back. I feel like this whole life is a mirage. The more you chase it, the further it escapes. I'm reusing a takeout cup from the bootjack market. I don't know. I like it because it's got this lid on it, you know. But it's running out of possible usages at this point. It's gonna go into the trash after this morning, I think. A girl asked the moderator to kick me off because I said I was an Uber driver in Chicago, was making me city seasick. Goes to show Democrats are running in Chicago and thirsty guys listen to women. Great self-talking person. Well, thanks. I do believe I'm pretty good at talking about myself. Sausage Magnifico was really good and looking forward to leftovers. Sausage Magnifico looks good. Well, Sasha, I don't know what to say about all that. It sounds like you have clarity about what you want and have yet to get it. Jay, are you here to scold me about how I pull bong rips? Yes, I have a lighter. I try to take pretty good care of my health, I guess, sort of. I don't really try to do that, but I might start trying to do that. I don't know. I've been thinking about either quitting smoking before my birthday or getting like a electronic cigarette to segue away from regular cigarettes. But I'm not sure. I'm not decided on the matter yet. Probably not, Putty Cat. What are we up to today? We're not up to a whole hell of a lot. I need to make new coffee. That's what the title of the video is. I still haven't done that yet. I've stood outside for a while, and I tell you what we can go do right now. We can do one chore that needs to be done. We can do it right now. You don't have to watch out the gross part of it, but I need to go clean the cat box. So why don't we go do that right now? Then we can get one thing accomplished. I'll be in the garage. I don't want to dip. I also, I don't want to talk about it. That's what I don't want to do. I don't want to talk about it. I'll make my decision when I do, for my own reasons. It won't be related to my discussion with anybody else about anything. All right, so I'm going to pull up my pants first. So I'm wearing these pants that do not fit me. Oh my God. Trouble. Are you a human being? Is that how you make this much shit? Ridiculous. Oh God. I mean, that cat is just. Oh. Oh. It's seriously, it's like a human-sized turd. It's ridiculous. Oh, what a horror that was. Well, everybody thinks they know best for other people what they should do with their bodies. I'm not quite sure why that's the case. I think it's one of the least agreeable things that people do, really. People regularly do. They presume to know what's best for someone else in their body. And their life and their habits and stuff. They compare against some ideal rather than a realistic alternative, right? Realistic alternative for me is not your ideal. Would you be a man and fist fight Jack in the Box employees? I don't need to read any further than that, but for getting rid of the chicken, for getting rid of the chicken tater melt from their menu, no, I would not do that. Medina Zadova, I am from California, USA. No, I would not do that. Nina Medina, obviously. Whose grandfather is this? I'm nobody's grandfather. I do have a daughter, but she doesn't have any kids. Hypothetical question. Cat gets in a fenced backyard and dog attacks and kills it. Dog owners or father cat owners. Cat owners, obviously. It's happened to a cat of ours before. I mean, not ours currently. My former girlfriend and me. I'm able to do it successfully. How come comments can't be too long on TikTok? I don't know. I don't go on TikTok. Chicken tater melts are worth fighting for, but it's okay. It's fine. I'll go alone. Well, I bet you that fighting the Jack in the Box employees will not accomplish your goal of attaining a return of chicken tater melts, though. Therein, in my opinion, lies the problem with your plan. Also, probably the fact that you're going to Jack in the Box at all is another problem with your plan. Are you no Azerbaijan? I'm familiar with it. I'm familiar with the name of the country. I've never been there. What am I doing with my life right now? Well, the main project I got going on is getting this property down the street that we own ready for rental. we've got the plumbers out there finally yesterday. They're digging it all up. The front yard was all dug up yesterday, so hopefully they'll get the septic tank fully repaired as we want it. And then I've got some stuff that I would like to take over to that house today because we're going to try initially to rent it as fully furnished because it's kind of, do you really want to hear all these boring details? That's what I got going on with my life right now. Romania or Azerbaijan? I have no preference. I don't know anything about either of those places. It's actually interesting. Well, we were originally planning to use it as a vacation rental, and so we bought it fully furnished, uh, which we were able to get just for the asking price, which was we got a good deal on it, but we knew we were gonna have to do septic tank repair once we had it bought, and then it's taken for God knows how long to actually get the septic tank repair begun because, well, like for one thing, they had to get permitting from the county, etc. It's been a pain in the ass. What is your religion? I self-identify as Christian. Ooh, but right now, I'm self-identifying as somebody who might need to poop. I was a PS guy, not an Xbox guy, when I had a console. I had a PS3. Yeah, I think that's the latest one I had. Yeah, it's costing $6,000, but we got 4,500 off of the price to cover the cost of it. They got this low ball estimate from this other plumber. Then when we tried to get that plumber to fix it at that price, it was like they wouldn't call us back. They were just, like they didn't actually want to do that job at that price. So we called a different plumber, and no, I'm not Muslim. And and it's taken a while to get them to do it, and they're finally doing it now. So I'm happy about that. And once they're done, I need to call this handyman guy today because I've got some small works to be done around there, including painting the bathroom. Putty cat, chill out. I'll make some coffee. Don't worry. I feel like I might have a poop coming on. And you know what I always say, poop when you can. No, it did not rhyme, Putty cat. Coffee does not rhyme with baldy. You know what rhymes with baldy? Schmaldy. Called me. Called me sort of rhymes with baldy. That doesn't really work either. It's a tough word to rhyme, baldy. It's a tough one. I'm on my second sit on the porcelain throne so far today. Well, congratulations to you. Do I go to weed dispensaries? Sometimes, yeah. We go there mostly to get Rachel cartridges because she prefers to vape rather than smoke flower. Smoking flower, like pulling bongers, makes her cough too much. When we do go to the dispensary, we have to go to Merced. There are no dispensaries in Mariposa County. The county doesn't allow for them. Well, otherwise, I'm sure there would be one here. Which SpongeBob movie is your favorite? I remember I was trying to buy season 5 on DVD, and a guy on OfferUp wanted to fight me. You seem to get into a lot of fights. Ever tried tincture? I don't think I have ever tried tincture. would you put that on your skin or what? Tincture of meow. Tincture is a very old word. Like drams, you know? How many drams of meow would you like? It's like an old pharmacy word. There are cat paw prints on the toilet seat. No, she's not half of this at all. This channel, I mean, she's half of my life, so she's kind of half of everything. But this channel predates my wife by a solid 5 years, 6 years or something. I started not live streaming, but I started YouTubing towards the end of my second marriage. And then I had a girlfriend after that. And then I had this wife. Rachel and I work well together, but we don't have the same sleep schedule. She probably went to sleep a few hours ago now. It's 6:30. She probably went to sleep around 3 a.m., you know? And I get up like at 5 in the morning. She gets up like at noon, you know? So, as a consequence, there are plenty of hours of live stream where it's just me. Also, she's not me. She doesn't want to read things, respond to them, talk as much as I do. She's an introvert. She only wants to do it sometimes. So, sublingual, huh? Under the tongue. Like an old divorced couple? No, I wouldn't call us an old divorced couple. We're very affectionate and, you know, definitely we've been together like 4.5 years now, but still the same level of physicality there always has been. Or maybe a little bit more at the very beginning, but like there's not been any cooling off of chemistry. Oh, viewership goes up and down, I don't care. I was conditioned so bad growing up and having the husband I had that you went to bed at this time and you wake up early so you can accomplish something. How did you meet your last wives? Because it seems like you do better having internet than not, so far as dating to accompany you. Yeah, well, I met my previous wives in real life, and they weren't. They were. You know, my first wife, I met at a party. You know, we were very poorly suited for one another, but I thought, well, she's got good childbearing hips. You know, I'm bipolar here, I am, okay? I wasn't some guy hating on chicks. My second wife, basically, that was a very instrumental choice. I needed a mother for my daughter because her biological mother, we were divorced, and she just in general was a terrible mother. So much so that when Delilah gets money from her, which she still does sometimes, she refers to it as reparations. No, I was bad at it. My first wife was like the first woman I had slept with in years, you know. Alright, let's go wash our hands in the kitchen. I prefer to wash my hands in the kitchen. It's just better for washing your hands. You see, I got a new alcohol to clean my bone with. See, that's what I use this for, because it's got bone resin fingerprints. I also got new dishwashing soap yesterday, because we're running out of that. It's like, this smells like green apples. Why can't they make shampoo that really smells like what it says it smells like? Got this kiwi lime shampoo the other day. It doesn't smell like kiwis or limes. It just smells like soap. I was very disappointed, needless to say. I'm going to get kiwi lime. I don't do gross videos now. I just live my life, basically. Alright, well, Nina Medina, that's fine. We will do that right now. We will smoke a bowl. There. There we go. Like, if you do something uncool, I think holding yourself accountable is an honorable thing. Yeah. I mean, I think so too, Hero Lamb. I try not to do uncool stuff. Sometimes I do, but I try not to. Alright, here we go. I'm packing this with this little bit of crumbled up bud here. There we go. Okay. Then we're gonna get this torch and we're going to 3, 2, 1, smoke. Ready? 3, 2, 1, smoke. You know, simple girl. Rachel's was not accustomed, certainly before being with me, to having real ownership of her life, you know. And she still doesn't really feel like that, you know. She often looks to me to behave like the owner. And you know, like last night she asked me, she was like, I want to get an ice cream sandwich. And I'm like, okay. She's like, am I eating too much? I said, Rachel, as I told you before, you're going to have to be in charge of this yourself, okay? I am not in charge of that. You have to decide these things. Well, you know, and it's like I have to be in charge of money, you know. She doesn't really feel ownership of money yet, so she'll She'll just spend it on dumbass shit, you know. I don't. I would, you know, I want her to feel increasingly like actual ownership, in which case she'd behave differently, you know. It took me a little while to make the shift myself. How reacts? That's ridiculous. Rachel's Rachel, okay? She's not women, first of all. And Rachel's Rachel emerged from family with kind of controlling parents, and she's been dealt with as this poorly managed, mentally ill person for years prior to me getting with me. Yeah, I'm sure you are a judge, Simple Girl 357. I know what that's like, believe me. My dad was a made it very clear that I was just a big disappointment, you know. I just can picture him now just like looking at me and going, just shaking his head. No, we don't hate vanilla ice cream. Yeah, I'd like to think so. She seems to be, I just want her to be happy, you know. I want her to be happy, free, not having to walk on eggshells ever. Not around me anyway, for sure. Uh Nobody. I manage myself, you know. Rachel doesn't manage me either. I still manage myself. Rachel provides certain kinds of breaks, you know. I'm more chill now, which is good than I used to be. But it has a lot to do with a lot of circumstantial stuff. Yeah, I have cats. I can show you one of them right there. There's one of my cats. His name is Trouble. And believe me, he lives up to his name. Legendary reviews, I hereby shout you out. Local equestrian weeb, I hereby shout you out. You know, I personally identify as an otaku myself. Not a weeb, but an otaku. Uh, if you are both, if you're an equestrian weeb, does that mean that you really like that anime where the girls are also racehorses? I don't know what kind of cat he is. But I think, you know, he might have some linkage to a Maine Coon because he's super big. How did I meet the wife? I met the wife here on YouTube. She was, you know, fan of the channel. And I was like, I need a new girlfriend. And I'm not going to look in the real world anymore. I'm going to find somebody who actually likes me. You watch anime, you ride horses. I watch a shit ton of anime myself, local equestrian weeb. In fact, you know, I've exhausted all the new stuff that's coming out, but I see this morning at 5:30 a.m. premiered episode 1 of the mini sides of voice actor radio. That sounds like it might be interesting. Yesterday, I really enjoyed Unnamed Memory, which is a great concept, and it started out with a 5 rating. I'm sure it's It'll go down to 4.9 before too long. But you do barrel racing and show jumping, huh? Cool. No, we met about you. We met on YouTube, not on TikTok, Harry X. We met on YouTube. All right. And anyway, we got together. The rest is history. We're still together now. We're married, and now her parents love me, or at least they fully approve of me. They did not they did not approve of me necessarily at first. I'm not sure. No, I don't really make any money from this, Jay. I never have really made any money from it. I used to do more typing sessions and stuff, more personality type stuff, and I made some money off of the typing sessions. Not very much, but some, you know. But that requires me to work an hour for to get my $100, and uh, frankly, I'm not very enthusiastic about doing a lot of typings. Nina Medina has a horse named Rachel. On RDR2, she recently bucked me off her back and left me for dead amongst a cougar. Huh. They should be paying you to stream. Well, I. Well, he was weak. He let her mom, like, bully her, basically. It was ridiculous. He understood it was bad, but didn't do anything about it. I never made any money with Trump steaks. I don't know what that is. They should be paying me to stream. Well, I mean, I've been, no, I mean, I do make some little bit of money off of it, Jay. My current, uh, like ad revenue and stuff is, let me look here, is at $150 a month. So I do make a little bit of money. I just don't make very much, right? His appearance says depressed. How do you earn money from YouTube? Well, first of all, I've been doing this for 10 years. And so I was monetized back before they had requirements to be monetized. Then when they put those requirements in, I was above the minimum requirements. So I've been monetized like the entire time I've been YouTubing. And you can earn money from ad revenue, from super chat, from various things. I don't maximally, like, I don't have like every possible revenue stream turned on. I don't think there are certain kinds of revenue streams that I don't pursue particularly, like any kind of brand engagement and stuff like that. I'm not interested in selling your beard oil, pretending like I use it. You know, most I earned is I think about $800. It says local equestrian weed. The most I ever earned was like I think $300 in a month. So, however, I do have thoughts that, and to keep in mind that I'm number 77 on richest YouTuber. No, I'm not. No, I'm not playing broke. I'm not playing broke at all. I don't solicit money from people. I don't say, please super chat, please donate. I don't do any of that. I'm not broke at all. But it's not because of YouTube that I'm not broke, you know. I've always just done YouTube as just my fun activity that I do. I've been doing it for years with just very minimal compensation for it, but that's not why I do it, right? I do it because I love it. I used to be a competition flow debate coach, coached policy debate, Lincoln Douglas, public forum debate, and I was the director of a debate school for years, and then I had my own school for a little while. Have I ever ridden a bull? No. All American Prepper says, I'm so broke I can't even pay attention. If it cost money to shit, I would have to throw up. There's some good lines there. I like that. Where did I leave my coffee? I must have left it in the bathroom, huh? No, I've not gone to the bullfights in Tijuana. Yeah. I don't solicit money from people. But, I do have Super Chat turned on if people want a Super Chat. Sometimes they do, they can. Anyhow, it's only in the last couple of months that I thought, well, maybe someday I will make a little bit of money from YouTube. What's interesting, though, is as these subs have gone up, my estimated revenue has remained flat. So who knows what's going on with YouTube? Oh, yeah. I got a torch there for pulling bong reps. Have you ever read a book? Yeah, I've read plenty of books. I do accept all questions. Buddy Cat says, Eric, you do it because of me. Admit it, Baldy. Is that why I do it? But that one was mid, if we're being honest. That one what? Oh, the question, I see. Well, looks like your question got dissed, Howie X. I can't exactly disagree. I can't exactly disagree with him. He's not wrong. But, probably isn't super nice of him to point it out. I don't mind being interrogated, that's for sure. I like to be asked questions. People ask me all kinds of questions. Sometimes I say I'm not answering that question. Every once in a while I do. Howie X says, I haven't read about comics. You must have read some books in school, right? At least you read, like, The Cat in the Hat. Most Eric is narrating his life story. Fighting crimes against words. I am narrating my life story, and I do fight crimes against words. A lot of people use words wrong, and that frustrates me. Because if they use words well, then things would be better. What's the zodiac of a person or persons who likes an interrogation? Well, my zodiac is Taurus. I was born April 27th. Eric would have liked being wrongfully accused just to get interrogated. I wouldn't mind it. I mean, I wouldn't worry about it if I were wrongfully accused. I'm sure it would be impossible for them to prove my guilt, obviously. I'm not somebody the prosecutor's going to bully into a plea bargain agreement with. If I'm guilty, well, then I'm guilty and I'm not going to bother fighting. But if I'm not guilty, then there's no way they're going to win, obviously. I have faith in the truth-pursuing processes of the courts to, and the presumption of innocence. Are you in the south or the north? I'm in California. I'm in the center of California. You might say I'm in the state of Jefferson, here in Mariposa County. Mariposa County's cool, We're cool like that. We don't roll like the rest of California. Okay. Well, I don't look. I don't. Okay, let me read this and respond to it because it's important to draw the right distinction here. Okay. Don't call me petty, says. So you said you don't like when people say words wrong. I guess it's true they say intelligent people get irritated off of anything. Well, I'm not saying I care if your grammar is wrong or something like that. I'm saying, when people are making certain kinds of arguments and trying to make a point with words and yet aren't respecting the specific meanings of words, then that frustrates me. I heard Cali been doing downhill. Have you noticed any change? Well, like I said, I'm in Mariposa County. So, yeah, I mean, California is struggling for sure. The cities are struggling. Yes, money. That's what I'm saying. Good morning, Lou. I actually got pissed on a video game channel just for saying the guy is getting paid to eat that cereal. You got people pissed because he said the guy's getting paid to eat that cereal. Was he getting paid to eat that cereal? I do advertise things on this channel periodically. They're just things that I like, though. They're not, and I'm not getting paid to advertise them. Like Florida's natural grapefruit juice. I'm a big fan of Florida's natural grapefruit juice. I've given it a lot of attention here on this channel. So, they came at you hard, huh? But it would be incorrect to think that Florida's natural grapefruit juice is paying me anything. And I just like their product a lot. F and GJ, I call it. I think they should call it that too. Just how like KFC went from Kentucky Fried Chicken to being KFC. I think Florida's natural grapefruit juice should go to becoming F and GJ. Yeah, I made a song about it too. The funniness of the song here, Lamb, was that it's this supposedly gangster guy who's into all these gangster things, but is also into Florida's natural grapefruit juice. No, I don't drink prune juice. I came here to be petty, but you made it hard for me to do so. Your personality is so likable today. Well, it does depend on the day. I agree with that. That's one of my more pleasant experiences here. Actually, is people coming in and being won over to some extent. It makes me happy when that happens. All right, you too, Jay. You take care as well. So I'm not a fan of prune juice. My grandmother drank prune juice. I didn't like it. My grandmother also made me eat oatmeal and didn't want me to put sugar on it. I never liked oatmeal since. I was even talking about oatmeal or prune juice here, Lamb, right? Not Florida's natural grapefruit juice. Oh, Lordy, Lord. What do you think is the cure for male pattern baldness? Don't know and don't care. There's no reason for me to care about my looks at all anymore because I'm already married. That's how it works. You don't have to worry about that stuff when you're married. Rachel looks the same. Yeah. Meanwhile, I look substantially older, I'm sure. Such is life. All right, that's the whole point of getting married. So you don't have to care about stuff like that ever again. What do I think about collagen supplements? I don't even know what that is. You mean like putting collagen in your lips to make them plumper? As I like to tell people, these lips have been maximally Botoxed. That's how skinny my lips were before I got these treatments. I went on a second date and the girl didn't have makeup. I said, "What's this?" She said, "I want you to see me at my worst." I said, "Well, you outdid yourself." Um, you know, I think most people overrate looks as well. However, I will say that this is my happiest relationship. And yeah, the thing is, just because it doesn't bother me at all, Putty Cat, I probably should check that shit because somebody else might be insecure about it. You know, it is not okay to body shame people. Hair lashes are kind of fucked up with this chick recently. I got it fixed up. It's making me feel bad. Do you ever get that artificial feeling regarding dating? I mean, no, I don't. It doesn't bother me at all, Putty Cat. But the thing is, my point was not that it bothers me at all, and I need to remember that body shaming somebody in ways that don't bother me, just because you're directing it at me, anybody else who has that same thing and is bothered by that or insecure about it is gonna feel bad. So in general, we probably shouldn't do too much of that. I don't mind saying, when we boot somebody, saying, um, get out of here, Baldy, to whomever we boot, that's fine. But I tend to agree with Winston's mom, I guess, in principle. Yeah, it doesn't bother me at all, but that doesn't mean it doesn't bother anybody. And and Winston's mom was correct in critiquing the habit of name calling in general is bad. Um, so no, Putty Cat, just maybe call me Eric. That is my name after all. Uh, when I dated, I didn't know how to do it really. I didn't like dating at all. I hate it. Well, that may be the case, Simple Girl, or maybe that they've just, been around people who have that bad habit and picked it up. Not really thinking about it a lot. It depends. Yeah, I tried dating on Tinder, but I was very unsuccessful because I was looking for like a long term relationship, and Tinder really wasn't for that. Then I tried dating on OK Cupid. That's how I got with my girlfriend that I was with before, Rachel, because I was determined to get somebody geographically local, right? Then after that horrible relationship was over, I said, "Fuck this! I'm gonna be smart for once, and I'm going to, you know, find somebody who actually likes me." No, because Putty Cat, you're assuming you know what's better for their body. Okay. Your standard for their body is not improvement, meaning your standard for their body does not comprise improvement. Okay. It comprises you being ontologically assaulted. So I didn't end up using any apps, uh, except the one app that I'd seen plenty of other people use to successfully find partners that they ended up even marrying, which is talking with famous people. Doy. So when I did that, I found this girl who already liked me, already liked my music, was in the age range I was looking for. Yes, she looks a lot younger than that, but no, I never used Grinder. Um, so you know, I used talking with famous people to find my next girlfriend, and that ended up being Rachel. And she really does like me. She doesn't think I'm difficult to be with. She's not like always folding her arms and sighing at me and stuff. You know, did I ever use the Godfather app? No, I've never even heard of that. Like one thing that happened not a super long time ago is I received on my phone this like, here is your 5-digit code for plenty of fish. So, obviously somebody's trying to be destructive to my relationship. Of course, as soon as I saw the text, I was like, "Hey, Rachel, look at this." It's not like anybody is, um, not like she or I are shady at all with each other. It's very difficult to get us to be suspicious of one another. Yeah. Well, you need to be compatible with the person ultimately. That's the thing about a relationship. Uh, well, I didn't have money when I got with Rachel. It was a very difficult situation she moved into. And, but it is the case also that, for whatever reason, if you have a YouTube channel, then you've got a lot of dating capital. But I guess the bottom line is, you know, this is a person who already liked me. She liked me enough to listen to me live stream a lot. She liked me enough to listen to the music I put up, and I agree with you, Putty Cat. What you're saying in general is true, but so that meant a lot to me because my previous girlfriend really didn't like what I did. She thought it was bad across the board. So that was difficult to deal with, you know. I was not after Rachel's money. Anyone have thoughts on the Apple River stabbing trial? I've never heard of that before. Isaac Shaman, 17, was killed, and four others, all in their 20s, were injured. Dante Carlson, Tony Carlson, A.J. Martin, and Riley Madison. Huh. Well, I don't know what to say about that. Um, yeah, I haven't seen the video. I just read the description of the video, and I'm steadily worried about the aging process. However, I know it's happening. It's a simple girl. Why did the river stab trial? Hmm. What I think about the Crumbly situation in Michigan, I don't know what that is either. Pretty cat. I'll have to Google it. As far as that stabbing goes, from what I read about it, it sounds like it would, you know, you probably have to interpret it as self-defense, but I'm not sure I'd return a guilty verdict based on what I read right there is all. Oh, I think that's terrible. I think that's a miscarriage of justice for sure. I know what you're talking about now, Putty Cat. Yeah, there's no way in hell that the parents should have been held accountable for that. It doesn't work like that, you know. The person was an adult. How can they be responsible for his behavior? They didn't incite him to do that. I'd like you to link it, Winston's mom. Adrian Garcia says get sleep. I just woke up about 2.5 hours ago. I don't want to have a shave. Thank you very much. Yeah, I did look it up. I think it's terrible. Such a terrible precedent. I don't think though it's going to actually function to set a precedent, but I think it's a horrible decision. Yes, it's live. Howie X. Hi, Ava loves to draw. Ava loves to draw. Hi, Ava loves to draw. From what I can tell, you love to draw. It's live, Howie X. Obviously. Why would a live stream be not live? Well, I guess some people, live stream recorded stuff. You prayed for me. Did it work? Am I healed now or whatever? Well, I wouldn't say that I'm. No, I don't think so, Putty Cat. I think the perpetrator of a crime should be held accountable and nobody else. Um, I'm not all slept up yet, Adrian Garcia. So it is still the tail end of Sleepy Week. When I'm all slept up, I won't really have this under my eyes, so much. But, I always look kind of old and wrinkly and saggy skinned and stuff. So that's just who I am. God bless you too, Daniel Machak. Machak? I don't know how to say that. Well, how long have I been going for here? Let's see. There's not any good cartoons out yet that I know for sure. Well, they might be held civilly liable for that, Putty Cat. One could conceivably try to hold them civilly liable for that. But I don't think you can hold anybody criminally liable for that. But I guess you asked held accountable. So possibly civil liability. Sure, possibly. Depending on what one assumes is the school's responsibility and the extent to which they feel to be their responsibility. I mean, I'm not in favor of unions. Certainly not public unions. I think it's ridiculous. I think it's absolutely ridiculous. I live in a very Second Amendment friendly county. Uh, the local department of the CHP, in fact, is holding a gun raffle. Rachel and I were thinking about buying tickets for it. So, people do hunt in the woods around here. I mean, every parent of a gang member who killed someone should be in jail. I agree with you. Nobody's disagreeing here. I think it's ridiculous. I didn't even see the comment that you're talking about, Winston's mom. Am I on? Am I not on Top Chat or something? Am I on Top Chat? Um, yeah, I hid the person actually. I have plenty of Riz, I would assume. You know, that's why they call me the Rizzler. And, you know, no, they asked me how they could. I just hit them because I don't know what to make of that. Hi, SK. They call you the Seeker, huh? You also just made coffee? I haven't made coffee yet. Maybe it's time for me to do that. That is the title of the stream. I don't want it to be clickbait. That means I do have to make new coffee. Yeah, I'm not a huge fan of unions, especially not public unions. All right, first things first. grounds out of here. Alright. We're going to take this thing right over here now. We're going to take this thing and dump it out. How? I'll show you how. Like this. Alright. Well, you can only get it so good, you know. Then you have to take it over here to L sink. So we're going to wash out all of these grounds. We don't need these old grounds. They're not going to do anybody any good. We're going to use this squirter thing. Squirt it out. Just squirt out all the grounds. Squirt them all the way down the center. Alright. There we go. That's a nice and clean. And then we just rinse this off as well. Put some water through there. Okay, good. Now we just set those down right there for now. Okay. Next, what we're going to do is we're going to get the coffee percolator. It's over here by this big coffee mess cat eating table. Yes, it's gross. Yes, I know. Okay. That's because it's just how we roll around here sometimes, all right? I don't need to hear your sass about it. You shut your sassy mouth. Sassy mouth. If you're being a sassy mouth, okay? If you're not being a sassy mouth, then obviously that comment doesn't apply to you. As you see, it's warming up. So I'm wearing my sexy shorts. My Daisy Dukes. I got my Dukes on, so I like to call them. Alright, here we go. We're going to pour out all of the old coffee. Just like this. See? See how that works? See how easy that is? Now, we're not done yet. Because we've got to rinse, rinse, rinse. You're going to swish it around. Get out all the extra coffee grounds. You can kind of move your hand around in here. Get all the extra coffee grounds out of there. And then just pour them out. I really don't like this shelf here. But Rachel's so short, she might need it. She's 5'2". I'm 6'5", so, you know. I think this shelf is horrible. I would take it down. But I need to actually talk to Rachel. I need to see how she handles dealing with these things. She probably likes this shelf here. I definitely don't like it above the sink, right? It gets in the way. All right. When this house was made, this shelf was not here. The people after the original owners put this shelf in. And I don't like their decision to do that. I want them to go back in history and undo that decision. Alright, so what we're doing now is we're putting the liquid part of the coffee in. What the liquid in coffee is actually just water. A lot of people don't know that. They think, oh, it must be milk or something. Or carrot juice. No, it's actually just water. Don't put that much water. That's fine. We don't need to have a shit ton of coffee. It's just me and Rachel drinking it after all. Alright. I can't really carry you with me, but I can arrange you better before I go. Alright, let's go. Let's move along to the next activity here in making coffee, the next step. Yesterday I vacuumed in here, which was good, but I need to do more floor work today, I think. I definitely need to vacuum the kitchen with the floors looking absolutely disgusting. And you know, floors are kind of my job. Rachel does dishes, laundry. I don't know, maybe some other things. What is this? Oh, for fuck's sake. What is going on there? I don't know what that is. But I don't like it. It's distressing. Alright, well, whatever. Might be like termites or something. Very little wood on this house, but there might be termites right over. There is some wood in the windowsills. Alright, now what we're going to do is we're going to put this in this hole here. So it looks like this. And put it down in the hole down there. Next, we're going to scoop some coffee with our scooping spoon, with our silver scooping spoon. If you want to truly have snobbily prepared coffee, only scoop your coffee with a silver scooping spoon, okay? There. Gently ladle it into the thing, okay? There. Gently ladle. Gently ladle it about with your scooping spoon, your silver scooping spoon. If you're using like a stainless steel spoon, that's really going to negatively impact the taste of your coffee, okay? You must use a silver scooping spoon. So we inherited a silver set. It was originally my grandmother's. But unlike most people, we were smart. We don't put it away in the closet or whatever. We use it as our actual silverware. Why not, right? Why not use your actual silver as silverware? getting out some of that gross caked on non-dairy creamer off of this lid. So yeah, that's right. We use our silverware as silverware. Crazy, I know. And now we've got the lid back on. We've got plugged in, got the water, the coffee in there and everything. We can turn it on. And if you have a silver set somewhere, I want to right now give you permission to use it as your everyday silverware. I think you'll find it's nice, you know. It works the same as other forks and knives. It works like exactly the same. It's crazy. Oh, we don't polish it. It's fine. It doesn't tarnish that fast, you know. The thing I would say about something like food stamps is there are a lot of dumb expenditures in the U.S. To the extent that I were to go after programs, I'd put food stamps way down on the list, you know. At least it's not in-kind benefits. Yes, it involves means testing, but both those mechanisms are fundamentally bad. I disagree, Putty Cat. I prefer uh I prefer I prefer food stamps over most entitlement programs. Food stamps is not nearly as bad for the economy as the Affordable Care Act. Food stamps is kind of as neutral as for the economy as a program can get. It's kind of a, by the way, government subsidy of grocery stores. Okay. I'm getting tired again. I might go back to bed here pretty soon. Or maybe watch some cartoons. Let's see what the release schedule looks like. It's currently 7:50. Mysterious disappearances. Date Alive 5. I'm not interested in Date Alive 5. Mysterious disappearances might be good. The many sides of voice actor radio might be good. Let me see what last week's Wednesday had. Oh yeah, Bartender Glass of God comes out at 9:30. It's kind of a fun love affair to alcohol. Sort of thing I wouldn't have watched back when I was in my early sobriety, but I kind of like it. That's the only thing that came out last week worth noting. I could watch I think I still have a little bit of, yeah. I still have episode 13 of Sengoku Yuko to watch. I'm not that excited about that, but whatever. I bought Trump Towers. I'm pretty sure I did not. I'm not particularly fond of all this uh, hyper partisan political stuff. Politics should not be about people. If it's going to be about a person, it needs to be about the right person, and none of the available candidates are the right person. Anyway, well, the reason people who have money pay less in taxes is because money that you have has already been taxed. So it's important to remember that, right? I don't know, buddy cat. Probably somewhat. It's depressing to even think about. I'm not added up enough to have this conversation. No, Gulf Coast, Florida man of the Gulf Coast. It is the case that by incorporating, individuals avoid paying, say, Social Security, but then they also don't get that back later on. And, the most damaging tax of all is the tax that actually hits rich people the most, which is the capital gains tax, because capital gains tax is a direct disincentive to upward mobility and directly a drag on upward mobility. And what we need to avoid are simplistic statements like government is controlled by corporations, you know, or other such stuff. Like people who don't agree with Trump are irrational and yeah, that kind of stuff. Anyway, I'm gonna wrap it up. Thank you all for being here. I love you all. We'll talk about more pleasant things next time. I'm gonna watch a little cartoons and go to bed. Well, yeah, property tax isn't great. I mean, you know, but it's usually not a hugely significant tax. Anyway, see you later. Love you all.